I will start by just telling you guys who I am, and our panel of folks are gonna tell you guys our favorite systems, and then we'll move into some topics for cloth diapers. If you can't hear or if something's going on, just send us something in the chat, and we'll get moving. So my name's Darren. I'm the founder of Cooper Rose, and I have one little boy. We cloth diapered from about 3 months until even potty training. My favorite system would be fitteds and wool. Passing the mic to Miss Samira.
Greetings. I'm Samira. Mama four. Y'all gotta forgive her. She gonna have things to say. I tried to cloth diaper with my first bum. My second one, I bummed again. I just didn't have the support. So once I had my third and fourth, um, with my third daughter, we definitely did the pocket. We did the pocket. Once the fourth one came, I tried all in ones. Those are personally my favorite for the newborn stage. Say, what is it? The pocket. Yes, the pocket diapers. those, those are my favorite. The all in ones are my favorite for the newborn stage. But once we started introducing solids, I definitely love my fitteds. And I love the pockets just because for me it was easier to clean. Um, it was easier to clean. So those were my favorites. And we cloth diaper the whole way, like Darren said. Well, with number four, she was only in cloth diapers until we finished cloth diaper. Cloth diaper. Passing the baton.
Hello, I am Patricia, also Trika. I am a doula now, and I am a mother of 3 boys. I gave birth to them naturally with no complications. That is not a boast, but it is a praise. And I cloth diapered all of them. I started with my first, he was like 9-10 months, if I'm not mistaken. And then my second was a couple months old. And then I started with this one from birth and never looked back. We do go in between with my 3-year-old now because he do too much. And he's trying to like poop 3 times a day. So we do use disposables now on him. But he is still cloth diapered unless, I'm tired. But my favorite system, geez, I would have to say fitted and wool is top tier. But I do love a good pocket when they're like in the in-between stages.
Hey y'all, I am Ray. I am a holistic birth worker and a mom to one toddler who is joining me tonight, named King. And I cloth diaper. Well, I was gung ho on cloth diapering from birth. From the moment I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I'm cloth diapering. Now, when it came to being in the hospital and those few weeks afterwards, we did use disposables. But once I like found my way as a mom, I started cloth diapering. I think he was like maybe a month old at that point. We had mostly pockets. Those are not my favorites. My favorite is definitely fitteds and wool, especially if your child sees a lot and be coming through. But I also like all in ones because if you're on the go, just come through real clutch. And we cloth diaper until he potty trained at like 2.5 ish himself. I ain't have nothing to do with that. So passing the mic.
I'm Ebony. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. If you ask her, she's 6.5. Don't short her on her half. So with my 6-year-old, I cloth diapered from birth. Interestingly, I rented my newborn set because I didn't know what I would like. And then I ended up ordering her a set of pockets that were going to be her ones to carry us all the way through to potty training. Um, when I had my son, which I had a home birth, my daughter was a hospital birth, but I realized how easy it was. Like I didn't need them for anything besides Tylenol. So my second one, I had a home birth with a midwife. It was so amazing. And we cloth diapered him from that night as well. I think I evolved a little bit though, because I ended up finding a brand that is a all-in-one, but that kind of pockets itself. And so I was able to kind of do the best of both worlds. It washes well because it's not all piled up together, but then I also could stuff something in it extra if I wanted to. So that became my go-to. That was my standard diaper. And then of course I had my fancy ones that were just like black power. Those fun ones. It didn't matter what they were because I just love the outside so much. But so he is 3 now. We're potty trained, and I just gave my set over to my cousin, and I'm hoping she can be just as successful. Yes, I think that's about it. It's my journey.
Hi, I'm Lasia Davis, the owner of the Little Bum Life and Diaper Service. So I own a diaper service, and with my diaper service, we use pre-folds. Um, with I have a 4-year-old son and I have a 2-year-old daughter. My son, I think I started at like 6 months with him. Just because I wasn't really into cloth diapers yet, and I didn't even have the service at the time. But my daughter, I had started her like when she came out, she had on a cloth diaper. So she is still cloth diapering. She's 1. We're trying to start the pod, but she's not really interested in it, which I'm okay because I still get the cloth diaper. I do have one on the way. I'm doing April, so this baby will be all cloth diaper too. Um, my favorite, I don't really know. I have so many different types, but I use pockets with my daughter. Just because the prints are so fun, and because I do pre-folds with the service, I try to, use pre-folds too. So I do like the pre-folds because I can stuff them in my pockets and I can just be a lot more versatile with the pockets. It's just the whole washing part is not my favorite, but I did finally get into wool and I love that. That's like our nighttime go-to. So yeah.
Hi, I'm LaMonica. I'm the owner of Nappy Bones. I have 4 kids. One's about to be 18. They have 14, 10, and 5. So I'm no longer cloth diapering, but I cloth diapered my last 2. Um, with one of my sons, I started really early with him, probably at 2 or 3 weeks. And then with Tamari, I started. Um, Not at birth. We used up all the disposables that we got, and then we started. But I enjoyed using cloth. Um, I prefer pockets and the all-in-one. Can y'all hear
Cool.
me?
So yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I was muted, so I couldn't say anything. So we have so much to talk about. I was just telling everybody before we got on that uh this is probably gonna have to be part 1 because this is a lot. I feel like just because we talked about systems that we can start with just that, what the systems are and how they work and what are the benefits of each of them. Um, I'm gonna ask LaMonica since you have so she's the owner of Nappy Bun. She said that right. And since you have pocket diapers, can you tell us why you like them, and well, you told us a little bit. Tell us the pros and the cons of pockets and what they are. If you have one next to you, um, what that looks like.
Okay, so as far as the pocket diapers, the lining it wicks away moisture. It keeps the skin as far as not being as wet as I would as wet as it would be as far as using just a pre-fold with nothing on top of it. You don't want the skin to constantly have moisture on it. I like the pockets for that reason. Also, you can customize it, the absorbency as far as how much your stuff in it. I started with microfiber, then uh, that's what the ones that I bought. But then I switched to flour sack towels because the microfiber, once they get a little older, you need more than one, and then they leak. So I switched to flour sack towels. Natural fibers really absorb a lot. Uh, just with my last child, two flour sack towels for heavy weather. It worked overnight. It worked during the day. I didn't have any leaks. So the flour sack towels, the natural fibers, you can use bamboo, all that. It works better for me. Um, and the all-in-one, I don't have to go searching as far as the inserts. It's already connected to it, which was another bonus.
Cool. Um, Ebony, you said you like all-in-ones. Can you explain what an all-in-one looks like? Like what does that mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know nothing. So tell me like from the jump.
Okay. So preface also a little bit. I had to go back to work at 6 weeks. So I had to rely on Auntie to be able to keep my baby, who was like, I don't know anything about this cloth diapering business. Just give me a disposable and I don't want to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't about to do that. And so I needed a system that was going to be as close to a disposable as possible. And so that's kind of where you get with an all-in-one. It looks almost like a regular disposable diaper. You put it on the baby, you take it off. Instead of putting it in the trash, you put it in the wet bag, but you basically, like, there's no pieces. You put it in the washing machine. When you take it out, you put it on the baby. The one particular brand that I ended up leaning towards, it had this section that, like a tongue. So if you think of your disposable diaper, the back of it has the one I had like a flap to where I could lay it down and it almost looks like a layer inside the diaper. So when you put it on the baby, it's almost like double layer. But when I take it off, I don't have to worry about something being lost in the washing machine, which is kind of what I went through with my pockets. It was great. My pockets, I was able to have absorbency as much as I wanted. I could stack it up. Sometimes, when you take it out of the washing machine, now you got to put them all back together. All in one, you don't have to do that. And the daycare provider doesn't have anything to complain about. They don't have to put anything together. And so sometimes, though, the cons of certain all-in-ones is that they can be really thick. And so your washing system needs to be able to get through all those layers. They're thick because they need the absorbency, but it's poop and pee we're dealing with. You have to be able to clean it well. And some people have a challenge with that if they haven't mastered their wash system. So there's convenience versus making sure you can wash them really well. And a system like how I had with the flap makes it so that it's not one solid piece that you're trying to get detergent through. It's still kind of like a layer.
Yeah.
The all-in-one is big for convenience.
Yeah. The all-in-one for who's that tired going upstairs? The all-in-one, it takes a little bit to dry too because it's so thick. But one of the good things about the all-in-one is, well, outside of it being like, it's the closest thing to a disposable is what I've always heard. But you don't have to add anything to it to make it water resistant. So it's literally just put that thing on them and that's it. So we got, I can't think now. Pocket, all in one. Lay, you said that you like the pre-folds. What's a pre-fold and why do you like it? What don't you like about it?
Okay, so the refold, like I currently have it in a pocket diaper, but that's why I like it because it's so versatile. So you can use it in a pocket diaper. You can also use it with a cover. And so just like a pocket diaper, the pre-folds, they're like pretty versatile. They come in different sizes, they come in different thickness. Typically, this middle piece is like super thick, and most of the time, people like to do the hot dog style. That is typically my favorite because that's how I stuff it into the pocket diaper. And kind of piggyback off the absorbents you were talking about. Usually, I'll tell my clients, or I also put a fleece over it. So I like buy fleece from Hobby Lobby and I cut it into rectangles and I lay it on top because that will wick the pee away from the baby. Yep, there you go. Wick the pee away from the baby so that it's not sitting, the wetness isn't sitting on the baby's skin. I didn't have that problem with my son, but my daughter, I was like, what is going on? And it never dawned on me, like, she's just sitting in a lot of pee and her skin doesn't like it. So, like, once I added the fleece to it, it was a game changer. So that's why I like these. Like I said, they come in different styles. I definitely like it for newborn because they're tiny and I don't do the hot dog style. I do like what you call a bikini twist. And so it gives you a really like trim fit on the baby and it puts like a lot of the diaper in that area. So when baby pees, you know, it's a lot of thickness right there. And it also gives you the trim because sometimes the con with these is that they can get really bulky. So typically if I like lose a customer, that's why they're like, oh, you know, the pre-folds are getting a little bulky and we have to keep going sizes up. So that's the only downfall. But I did still usually, I still mostly use them with my daughter Hazel, because she's a chunky little thing anyway. So it didn't matter. We had to go up sizes and clothes. So that's just kind of the pros and cons on the pre-folds.
Cool. So for people who are watching this later, watching it now, you see that like people like Trika and Ray, they went and got these diapers out of their own stash. So even though they have their favorites, and look, Ebony, even though they have their favorites, and even though Ray's son is what, four, three,
Three. He's
three,
three.
and Ebony's youngest is three, so they're out of cloth diapers, but they still have these things at their houses. One, because we just can't get rid of them, but also we have different systems because different, like for different times they work, for different ages they work. So just so everybody knows that you don't have to stick to just one. Um,
And you know what
Trika
else
was
too,
good.
Darren?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just add real quick that I used all-in-ones during the day, but I absolutely loved fitteds in my covers for night.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of fitteds during the day because I did like trim and I always felt like, fluffy butt is super cute, but I
Mm-hmm.
wanted the trimness during the daytime when it would close. But for nighttime, I felt like those fitteds and covers was bulletproof. Like you're not changing a diaper all night long.
Yeah.
It absorbs everything.
Totally agree. I have one that's brand new. And I had it, but while Coop was in diapers, but I was like, nah, like I'm not. He's not gonna mess his diaper up, and it is sitting in my drawer right now. So yeah. So we talked about all-in-ones, pre-folds, pockets. I know Trika and Ray both mentioned wool and fitted, so you guys tag team that one. You're muted, Trika, but she said you go, Ray.
So the thing is, I just ran down there and grabbed these diapers, and I realized I grabbed the newborn diapers, and we didn't have fitted in wool. It was the newborn.
There
Wait, hold
you
on.
go.
Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you for backing me up. Um, so the thing about pockets, and
That's
that's
the
what we
fitted.
started off with,
Mhm.
is my kid did not like the moisture or the elastic, and he was just peeing a whole lot. So I needed something that was very, very, very absorbent for him, and that is where I found the love of fitteds at, especially at night, because maybe I was doing it wrong. And Monica said she stuffed two flour sack towels in there, but I would stuff them pockets. His whole onesie, the whole bed, everything would be wet, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. But fitteds and wool, like I remember bugging Darren so much, like in the beginning, like, am I doing this right? Because this really gotta work. Like, am I doing the wool right? But it was like foolproof for nighttime. Like they cannot outpee that stuff. They can't. And that is why I love it so much right there. And Patricia giving us a demo to
Yes.
show us what it looked like. So I think it's important to note, like with the fitted, it's all absorbent, but it's not like waterproof on the outside. Like if you got a pocket or a cover, like oh, look at how cute these
That's
little newborn
super
diapers.
cute. I want one.
Bigger version of hers.
Yes.
But this part is like the waterproof part, so it's not gonna be wet on the outside for the pocket or the cover. But on the fitted, it's just all absorbent, so you do need something to cover it up. And you can use wool or you can use like a
Right.
cover
That's
to
what
go on the
Ebony was
side
saying. Ebony used the fitted with the cover on the outside.
with the cover
I
on the
did that too.
outside.
Yeah, sometimes.
To
So
see if you
that's
send,
cool. What'd you say?
I was gonna say if you send a fitted and cover to auntie or grandma, you might come back and baby's gonna be in a huggy.
Yeah,
Because they're gonna be
exactly.
confused and wet,
Yeah,
and they're not gonna know what to do.
yeah. So there's diapers for daycare, diapers for home, diapers for nighttime, diapers for daytime. We didn't talk about flats and pre flats. Samira, I think she's talking to her baby, but she's had her daughter at daycare with diapers. Did you do fitted? Did you do? I'm sorry. Did you do cloth diapers at daycare, or did you have to do disposables at daycare?
They allowed me to initially, and then they were saying that, it was an issue for sanitary reasons, even though I provided the wet bags and I brought everything ready to roll. At daycare, I did pre-folds and pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
And
like I
you
said,
stuffed
everything
them
was ready to
already?
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You.
had everything stuffed so they could literally just change it as if it was an all-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that definitely was a challenge. I definitely have heard of other mothers that were able to be successful with that, but unfortunately I wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's cool that you even got to for a little bit because some just won't at all, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, to
a lot
piggyback
won't.
off
A lot
that,
won't.
sorry.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I tend to lose a lot of clients because of that. And so one day I was just determined and I like called every daycare in Jacksonville. Like, do you provide like literally out of like I think 15 I might have called, I think it was one that said that she would cloth diaper for families. So that was like 1 out of 15 daycares. And the same thing happened to me with my daughter. And she goes to a home daycare, so it was only 5 kids. She started off cloth diapering for me, and then she was like, "Oh, now her poop smells really bad because she's older and eat regular food, so she didn't want to cloth diaper for me anymore." So I'm kind of annoyed during the day. She has to be in disposables, but I'm home
Wouldn't the
now
poop
and I'm
smell the
trying to pull
same
her
in the
out.
disposable diaper?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it didn't stink as much when she was a newborn, but I'm like, you can just plop this one in the toilet. But she wasn't trying to hear
But
me.
I'm saying she still got to smell it when she's changing the baby. Come
I
on now.
know. So I guess she got
Wow.
tired of it and was just like, eh. So, but my husband doesn't want me to pull out of daycare, so I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was something that I will say, and sometimes I'm like, I'd be like, everybody gonna do what I say do. It shouldn't be that way. But I was pretty adamant. I was like, look, I know that there's people out there like that. But I was like, when my kid has to go to school, just like my auntie kept them until they were 2. But when they started school at 2, no, they weren't potty trained just like the other kids. They were in their diaper just like the other kids. And I really wasn't down to let anybody tell me that my diaper was less sanitary so this is what I I mean, thankfully I didn't get the pushback, but I was expecting it because I've heard it. But I went in there like prepared to say, like, educate them on anything they need to be educated on, making sure they knew my diapers were clean, making sure I had a good brand of wet bag. That was one thing I noticed too. If you send a less quality wet bag into the room, then the smell can seep out and then the classroom can smell. So I don't know if maybe that's what they were picking up on. There are certain brands of wet bag, like they're just like the smell just can't come through, because otherwise, if the only difference is I want you to put this diaper in the bag instead of the trash. If the bag is not letting the smell out, you can't really justify to me why we can't do this, because especially if I'm sending you an all-in-one, this diaper is exactly like the one that you're putting on the other kids.
Yeah.
And thankfully the caregivers that I had, I mean, my kid went to both of them went to Chinese schools. So it was like having Chinese nannies, and they were just like, okay, whatever you say, you know. But I mean, they potty trained them for me, just like all the rest of the kids. And I was very thankful for that, because I have heard those stories, but I was prepared to be like, I will not pay you. I will take my kids somewhere else, because I don't want to put them in a paper diaper. Like, to me, cloth diaper is like luxury panties. Like, I don't want to walk around in paper panties. My baby shouldn't have to either. I was so good, because I was ready. Like, I wish y'all would.
Oh, that is hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I was on mute. That's why I'm snapping, and y'all can hear all of that. Yes,
Wait.
It's
Go ahead.
unfortunate.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say something about, like, I know I said my favorite was fitteds, but when you brought up flats, it made me think that when he was like maybe like 15 months or something, the washer had broke, right?
Yes.
And you remember. And my favorite became flats because you can hand wash them so much easier than you can with a fitted. And you can forget about trying to get that microfiber clean
Yeah.
hand washing. You could just wrap it up because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
So
that's a flat that
flats,
Trika is hitting.
flats, flats for nighttime, like stretchy flats that had something extra in them, was like my go-to at night with wool. But during the day, flour sack towels, old t-shirts, whatever we could use to thug it out. That's what had to be the diaper
Yeah.
with just like a little cover, because it's just so much easier. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell them about
I
cloth
was I was gonna say that too about just mixing up, like, so this is one of our topics and we're not even there, but let's just go for it. There are so many hacks, and we have the range here on this panel, I guess I should just call it, of what things, like the higher price things and the lower price things, the things that might not cost you anything because you already have it at home. We talked about the wet bags and getting like a quality wet bag. I cannot remember the name of that company,
There's
but
a
it's,
monkey foot.
no, there's another one. It's like Planet something.
Oh yeah, Planet
Planet Wise, that's right.
Planet
Planet
Wise.
Wise.
Wise, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a good
Those are
fabric.
really good, yeah. But what's better but worse for the environment is a Ziploc bag. And if you don't,
Oh,
I'm just saying,
Never thought
there
of
really?
it.
there are I mean, a Ziploc bag, nothing can get out of it. The smell can't get out of it. So,
I did
and
not
that,
think about that.
and they have big
Yeah,
ones.
that's what I used when we were doing it at daycare.
Yeah. So I mean, it
A
goes
Ziploc
against,
bag for each diaper, and then they were putting that bag in the wet bag.
especially if they have issues with it. If that's the lesser of the evil, and
Mm-hmm.
Ziploc bags, you can reuse them. So you wash it out and use it with the next diapers. I mean, it's not going to last you as long as a wet bag. But for people who, I hear a lot of people say, like, I can't afford cloth diapers. You can afford cloth diapers if you can afford disposables. It's just when you get the
Mhm.
money. So, so even if you don't have, they make reusable. Yes, at Target, they make those like silicone bags. But that's still a little bit more than a Ziploc. I mean, you can get a box of Ziploc for
At
what,
the
five
Dollar Tree.
bucks? Right.
But by the time you buy maybe 10 reusables, maybe,
Exactly.
yeah.
So there's
the only thing I would say about plastic, real quick. I'm not nothing near about the environment. I have accidentally forgotten a cloth diaper in a plastic bag, and Lordy, when you open it, all that funk has been stuck in there.
Yeah.
The wet bags, that fabric is made to be air. Like, the air can get out.
Airflow.
There's airflow. So if you use your Ziploc, no judgment, do it. Whatever they need to keep your baby in daycare, but make sure you take it out quickly when you
that
get home.
night.
Don't keep it in the car.
Yeah.
Take it out. It needs airflow.
It definitely needs airflow.
Your room will not smell if it's just, if you put some dirty diapers in a plastic bin and close it up, when you open it, there's gonna be hell to pay.
Yeah. And I mean that you're right. And I do, don't get me wrong, because like I have my own brand, Cooper Rose. I'll say it 15,000 times. And we got nappy buns on here, and we got little buns on here. But so there are, this is how we make our money, by selling diapers. So I'm not trying to promote Ziploc bags over, a little bum's wet bags. At the same time, I would much rather a mom, dad, grandma be able to cloth diaper their child at daycare. You know what I mean? If it comes down to a Ziploc bag, then you can reuse also. So it's not the best, for all of the things. It's not the best for, like, quality wise. It's not the best for the environment. But what do they say? Choose your battles. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? So then some more hacks. We got T-shirts that you can fold like a flat and make it a diaper. What else is there?
You know what? It's not a diaper, but the spray. I actually, like wipes.
Oh, yeah.
Like a hack for, like, instead of using the paper wipe, use your washcloths and make your sprays, and that's what you clean your baby with. It's like a mini bath.
Here's a wipe.
Yeah. I had to use a onesie one time. I don't know what I thought I was doing with a baby and no diaper bag, but I happened to have a cover in my car randomly, and we were in where were we? I think we were shopping for fabric, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot her diaper bag. But I had a onesie, I had a cover, and then I randomly had an insert. And so I like folded it and put the insert on there and put it on her, and voila, we had a diaper. So I was like,
that is all you need.
That is all you need. Yeah.
You need one piece that's gonna catch some moisture, whatever it is. Blanket, T-shirt, socks,
anything.
Something that's gonna catch some moisture,
right.
and something on the outside to keep it from getting on other things. Something waterproof. A cover.
I will tell you, when I found that out, that a flannel blanket was super absorbent, I used a flannel blanket a lot. Like, and that is a flannel blanket. It's the same thing that happened to Lay. I was at work, and Coop came with me. It was gymnastics center, so he came with me all the time. And I did not bring any diapers. I had my diaper bag, but I just didn't bring any diapers.
Yeah.
And so, but I had like a cover. And why did I even have a cover? Because I didn't use covers like that. So it was like God was trying to teach me a lesson or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's not get on that. But but I had a flannel blanket in my bag, and I was like, this is cotton. I'm about to put this in his diaper. And that's what I did. And it's like super absorbent. Like super absorbent. It's more absorbent than
receiving blanket.
No, receiving blanket is a flannel. That's it.
That's what they call the flannel.
It's a flannel. Okay. The receiving blanket is a flannel. Yeah, but a flannel is more absorbent than just like a regular cotton insert.
Like the flour sack.
Yeah.
No, like,
well, flannel is more absorbent than flour sack. So.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And for people who don't know, flour sack, because I only discovered that with my second, flour sack is literally like a big sheet. I think they actually use it in bars for cleaning stuff.
They
It's like a
do.
Yes.
cloth.
It,
hmm
And you
yeah.
can buy them in
It's like a
Target.
kitchen towel.
Yes,
Yep.
kitchen towel. You can
hmm
buy them in the kitchen section of Target, and they come like what, 5 in a
4 in a
pack
stack.
for
Yep.
$5 or
Hmm.
something,
Yep.
hmm
and they're
It's the
massive
best
for
bang for your
absorbing.
buck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what I started off with. Originally was flour sack towels. I bought like 2 packs at Walmart, and I was stuffing them in pockets, and I was living my best life till I
Yep.
figured out there was other beautiful cottons
Yeah.
and hemp and all the other
It's
good
just like
stuff.
the receiving blankets. They're kind of like the pre-folds. What? Not the receive. I guess that no. I
Like
think
burp
they're the
cloth.
little. There you go, burp cloth. There you
hmm
go, because they have
Oh,
that
yeah,
thick
yeah, yeah.
middle and the two
Yeah.
skinnier panels. So like
Yeah,
that's what
I
you
use
had
those
to
too.
use.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've used those too. And with
You
the
know,
wipes, though, you said wipes as a wipe hack, the spray. But what I used, one moment, because I was not prepared. My bad, y'all.
um,
But no, I was
But
big
what
on
I
those
used,
cleaning butts.
I used this. I use a mason jar. I put some water, some oil, and that's what we use.
Yeah. I use
yeah.
the diaper warmer, like just like that, but I do
Oh
the diaper
yeah, I
warmer and
never
I
had one
pour
of those.
the, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really do good at warming regular wipes, but they do really good
Really
with
good job. Yes.
with the
Really?
cloth
I
wipes. So I do that
I know
one.
everybody that I like, all the babies that I ever took care of, they all had diaper warmers. And then when I had my kids, not one diaper warmer. So
Well, I
I
always thought
definitely.
if 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 they're used to this warm booty cleaning at home and we're out and about and they can't get this, I don't want to deal with them being mad at me.
oil.
I was like, you're gonna get this cold spray every time.
Now you want them to go in a luxury diaper, but they can't get the luxury
But they can't get the
wipes.
luxury
They can't
wipes.
get that
Yes.
deodorant. Y'all are
You got the
crazy.
We
luxury
gotta get a
wipes.
cold bath in the back of the trunk. Yes, I will pop the trunk and spray a little butt and clean it, and it'll not be warm.
That is hilarious.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so let's.
definitely had a diaper warmer, but when we was on the go, I would put the solution in a period bottle and just squirt squirt it on
That's
That's a good
there
way
smart.
to reuse the
Yeah,
and wipe it
bottle.
off.
that is a good
I
way
didn't
to
even
Yeah.
use
think
the
about
bottle.
that. I'm gonna pull mine
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
I had a spray bottle like Ebony, like just a little,
hmm
get to it. I'm all for easy, so well, like yeah, I say that, but then I'll use wool. But wool's not as bad as people say. It's not. I
Well, it's
promise.
not that bad.
Not that bad.
Mm-mm.
And the reason why for for so we talked about this kind of already. I'm going backwards, but as far as the wool and the fitteds for me, I know that there's the wet thing that happens, but Coop was with me all the time, so I could change him as many times as I needed to if I saw that he was wet. And we did a lot of at home. It was a lot of no cover, so he would just have on
hmm
his fitted, and I could see when he's wet.
hmm
But he had a big skin issue, so that was the reason why we went like as natural as possible for the with the covers and the wool. But again, it's I was home with him all the time, and I know that that's like a privilege that a lot of people don't have. So we can't all do it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
do what you can do, because it's
I
much
do
better
want
to
to
use
ask.
the cloth diapers. Yes,
I do want to ask you though, since you're on your wool topic, because this is something I still haven't mastered yet.
I probably haven't either.
Well, so I think one of my fears for jumping into wool is that there's this concept of lanolizing, and I was like, I have no idea what that is or how if I mess it up or like, can you explain what do you have to do differently with wool? Do you
Not a
have to
whole
do
lot.
lanolin?
I mean, you have to hand wash the wool basically, but it's really just like soaking it. It's not
hmm
really like washing it because you don't want to like wash it the same way you would wash, I don't know, a cotton something that like hand washing it. So it's just like getting the pee and poop out if you even have any.
hmm
I don't think I ever really had poop on a wool cover, but so you make the solution that's usually like warm water and like some kind of baby soap, and then you wash the diaper. Like you just put it in the sink and let it soak. And then
Demonstration.
Oh, it's
thank
not
you.
lanolin, like something called lanolin?
Yeah, you use
Lanolin,
that
you
too. You use that too
Yeah.
Oh,
later. Yeah. So
But
after you,
you don't do it every time though,
right,
because that's
don't
what a
do it
lot of
every
people
time.
ask me. You don't do it every time you wash. You just lanolize it once, and then you could go like a month or so without actually lanolizing again.
and that
Depending
helps
on,
with the waterproof label.
yeah,
Wait, what does that do?
Hmm.
yeah, that makes it water resistant. But and that's just if you use your cloth diapers enough to do it once a month, because you might not, you might have enough to
That's true.
not have to do it. Like you can use a wool cover for like a week or maybe even two, like the same one, you know? And then you don't necessarily have to wash it for maybe, nah, I don't know. It just depends. You'll know if it starts like kind of leaking a little bit or getting a little
Then yeah.
damp that you feel it because it's
Hmm.
not going to leak. But if you feel the wet on it, then you need to lanolize it. And a lot of you don't you put the lanolin in a solution to lanolize. Hey, um, but if you like your wet zones, you might like take a little bit in your fingers. I keep doing this, a little bit in your fingers and rub it on the wet zone to give it a little bit of extra that part. And Ray said she didn't even do that.
You
You
don't
didn't tell me
technically
to do
have
that.
to.
My bad, homie. My bad.
Right? She ain't right, Ray. She did you
You
wrong.
can't
My
even tell me to do it,
bad.
y'all.
She did you wrong.
That was like a long time ago, maybe. Um, but yeah, Allison. What's Allison's last name? I can't think of her last name right now. But she's on. She's. I think she's Chewy Mom instead of like country Crunchy Mom. She's Chewy Mom, but
Oh
she's
yeah, I know you're
a
talking
really
about.
good video on her blog about like how to wash and everything.
Hmm.
But it's a lot easier, and they can chime in. It's a lot easier than people say. Like you do that, you get all the stuff out, and then you lay it flat on the towel, so the towel can pull the water from the wool, and just leave it flat. That's it.
Hmm.
So y'all, we have 10 minutes. I knew this was gonna. It's so much information. I'm just gonna read or whatever you call it. Go over the other stuff, the systems. So we got pockets. They are waterproof. They are not natural fiber. They have a pocket and you can customize them. I think those are the main things from that. We got the all-in-ones. Yeah. All-in-ones. I think Shrika has an all-in-one. Oh, cool. And that is the closest thing to a disposable. Um, typically not natural fiber, but and take. Ooh, that's nice. And takes a little bit to takes a little bit to clean it. These are all the all-in-ones. They come stacked with stuff.
Hmm.
The fitted is you put it on just like a disposable diaper, but it is not waterproof. Oh, that's the tie fitted. So some of them are snapless, where you need a snappy, or they have ties on them. These are all fitted. They, excuse me, fitteds. Actual fitteds are all natural fibers. Hybrids have some natural and some synthetic, but it's all one big absorbent thing. Um, then all in twos. So all in two is similar to an all in one, but it has a snap on insert. Do you have an all in two?
It's kind of like, see, mine, it's like if this was cut off.
Yeah, that's an all
That
in
was
two
cut
type.
off.
Yeah, so yours is attached and makes
I
it an
Yeah.
all in
have
one.
this
You
one
have one? Oh, yeah, Ray has
is the
one.
one in the sorry, my light is bright. And then you snap it in there and then
Yeah,
you have your
Hmm.
insert with your
Hmm.
cover.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So there's some absorbency on the cover, and then you snap on a all in. You
Yeah,
snap
there's
on
a
an insert. Um, and then there are flats, and that's the big sheet of absorbent fabric that you can wrap and tie in different ways. We didn't talk about a pre-flat. Um, a pre-flat is a combination of a flat and a pre-fold, kinda. We'll have
yeah.
to do that next time. I don't think we talked about that enough. And then there's pre-fold, which is what Lay and Ray had. That thing that pad folds really well.
Yes.
Um, And then we have the wool that we just finished talking about, and that is not something that you put on the baby's butt by itself typically. You can, but you need some absorbency. So like my son, he wore that during potty training.
It's a type
Uh,
of cover.
it is a type of cover.
Yes.
Or like the cloth pull up could be.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So those are all of the systems. We didn't really talk about washing much. You can hand wash and hang up to dry. There are diaper services that like that Lay owns, and they tell us a little bit about how the diaper service works, like in short as you can.
Yeah, so those diaper services, they work the same. It just might be a different system. My system, I only have pre-folds, but other diaper services, they have all-in-ones and pockets. So sometimes you can choose. With my particular one, it's $30 a week, but I just do a monthly charge. So usually it's like 120 a month, and I provide the diapers. You just have to get your own covers, or some people choose to use pockets and stuff them. With the diaper service, we drop them off, we pick them up, and we wash them and we dry them. So like every Tuesday, we go out, pick up the dirty diapers, drop off their clean diapers from last week, and the rotation just continues.
That's awesome.
That's super dope. If I had known about that, and if there was something close there, that would have been what I did. We nighttime leak. These are the frequently asked questions and common problems that we had, and we only have 6 minutes, so I'll tell you all of them, and then we'll choose one to kind of talk about. Nighttime leaking, toilet learning, funk, travel, and stripping diapers. I think we should not do stripping diapers because that's like some advanced kind of stuff. So travel, the smell, toilet learning, nighttime leaking. Which one do you think we should tackle?
What about cost?
I think travel. Oh,
We talked a little bit about cost, but I don't mind talking about cost. But let's do travel real quick, and then we'll go back to cost because I don't think travel's gonna take too long. Go ahead, Lay.
So with traveling, because I typically I took a train actually one time once. It wasn't so bad. So like I said, I pocket diaper, but I also like the all-in two system just because it's easier to snap them in there. So I just have a really big bag. Usually it's a wet bag, or I'll do my suitcase, and the way my suitcase opens, I just stuff all of my diapers in there along with a really large wet bag. And then I typically like to use, this is what I do really like, I'll use them anyways, but I really like to use the cloth wipes because everything could just go into the wet bag instead of you having like regular wipes. And then it's like, where am I about to put this wipe? So it's easier to just kind of have that spray, that cloth wipe. I really stuff as many as I can in my bag, like my to-go bag. And then I'll stuff the rest of them like in a suitcase because you don't need all your diapers at that time. And so that's just kind of how they do it. I just kind of pick the biggest bag I can find and stuff as many diapers in there. I put my cloth wipes in there and the solution. And I mean, it works out. We have a SUV if we travel. So I just change her in the back, put the trunk up and change her butt, or wherever we are, just take it off, change her. We're good. I never have a problem. You just throw it in the wet bag and you're done. So, I mean, to me, it's not difficult, or because the same thing, if you had a disposable diaper, where are you going to throw the disposable diaper at when you change the baby? If you're like on a train or a plane, at least with a cloth diaper, you have a wet bag to throw it into, and that's it.
Has anybody done like major traveling? Like I kind of heard. I'm sorry, Coop was talking. Like more than like 2 weeks, or maybe I don't know, week and a half travel.
Well, I've done. I used to have to go to work conferences, and I would bring Auntie along as my stay. She stay in the hotel as the nanny. But I'm in a city that I'm not familiar with, and so I took enough diapers to last us a couple days, and then I Google Map the nearest laundromat, and we head over there in an Uber. We wash those diapers, dry them in the dryer, and we keep going. Usually if I'm somewhere for more than a week, well, in my experience, it's been like I'm at somebody's house, so I can use their washing machine. But when I had to go on business trips, I've never had a problem using laundromat.
That's kind of where I was going when I was saying more time, because I know you were saying that you just put them in the bag and wait, right? But what if you're gone for like a long time?
Oh no, they got to be washed every few
I've
days.
done the laundromat too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or I'm at somebody's house. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
We went. I don't know how long we were gone, but I remember it being an issue. Like, we were staying at somebody's house, but they didn't want us to use their washer and dryer for diapers. Yeah,
Oh.
and so we so I was like,
Like they underwear any cleaner.
I mean,
They messed up.
and I'm sure they had their child did not use cloths, so I'm sure had a blowout or two, and I'm sure they washed those clothes,
Plenty.
But
Plenty.
people don't know, people, it's foreign for them, and so you know what I mean. But we went to a laundromat, and it was whatever, find one that looks clean enough for you and go for it. Um,
Yeah. Another thing we didn't really mention was like snaps or Velcro. Like typically, if I'm traveling, I like to choose the Velcro because it's easier to throw them on there, Velcro it shut, pull the pants back up. So that's
mhm.
also an option. Like whether you like snaps or Velcros.
I never liked Velcro, but I don't like Velcro in general. It's my mom's fault.
Yeah.
It's from like snagging on stuff. Like she's like, if you put Velcro in the washing machine, it's gonna snag
Yeah.
all your clothes, So I just like stay away from it.
I
But
know
it
I
is
had to
a
go
good
fancy
option.
with it and I did
Yeah.
Grovias. Yeah, because theirs don't
Mm.
snag as much as like a
Oh
regular one. So I
wow.
always use Grovias like
Okay.
Velcros. I know. I had to chunk out some money for those though, but
Yeah.
You know what? My first baby, I used snaps. My second set was all Velcro, but I was very careful because a lot of times with Velcro, those diapers are only going to last you one baby because the Velcro runs out.
Yeah.
But if you
Mm.
buy a diaper that has really good Velcro, a brand that's known for this strong Velcro, then like I first of all I bought my whole set used because these
Mhm.
things are like $35 each.
Yeah.
Buy the whole set used. So my kids easily the second, and I just passed majority of them to my cousin. That's gonna be a third baby, and the Velcro's still going. So it definitely depends on the Velcro brand.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, my Grovia, they last both my babies. And they still look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but they do
Snaps
cost.
are snaps are great for longevity, but you got to be careful with
Right.
which Velcro you choose.
Mm. Good to
What,
know.
Samira, were you about to say something? No? Okay. Okay. So we talked about travel, lace snuck in, Velcro, um, money, expense. We're at 8 o'clock too. So, well, we started at 8:05, so we'll go 5 minutes. Um, what do y'all have to say about cost? What do you think? Like, how much would it cost to say I'm a new mom? I've never cloth diaper. I don't have anybody in my family that cloth diapers. How much would you tell me? And I have like a you know, kind of okay job. Not like I'm not a lawyer or doctor. So I'm like just, doing my thing. What would you say would be like a, a good amount to spend on cloth diapers?
I think it.
Um,
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I was just gonna say it really you can make cloth diapering as expensive or as less expensive as you want to because you can get like 5 covers and some flour sack towels and make it do what it do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
and if
Mm-hmm.
you want to
mhm.
spend money on fancy systems and fancy diapers, then you can.
Yeah. That's
I
what a
was
lot of people like if they use my service, they use it like I just want to use you to start off with until I build my stash because it's cheap
Yeah.
to buy like 5 covers and then
Yeah.
a stack of pre-folds and I
So
mean
what
you
does
can
that
do
mean
that.
though? What does that mean is cheap? Like tell me
Oh, okay.
how many should I have? How many diapers should I have?
So I typically tell somebody like if you're pre-fold, because to me it is the cheapest system other than like flour sack or something like that. But I usually like 4 to 5 covers at the most because covers you can do one if you want to and just wash it out every night and hang it up, you know? So I always say like at max 5, you have one a day. The pre-folds, they usually come like in a stack of like 20. And then I think even me, like I'll sell like pre-loved ones in a stack of about 20 or 25, and I'll sell them for like $35. Sometimes it depends on like whether they're the small ones or the big ones. So if you, I don't know, $6 for a cover, and I tell them like go on the marketplace, look for that. You know, you can
Yeah.
come out with pre-folds and cover like $50 at
Yep.
like the least.
Easy.
And that'll get you, you know, you just have to
That'll
wash
get you
more
really started.
until you're
Yeah.
able to, so
Yeah.
that's always my suggestion.
Yeah.
I
And
Go ahead.
I'll add to that. um, oh, dang it, lost the train of thought. I'll come back. I just lost the train of thought.
It's okay. I think that dollar amount, the $50. I wanted a number for people.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
I'm right. So
Ebony.
I was just saying, um, get what you want and get what works for you,
Mm-hmm.
but don't be afraid to buy used.
Mm-hmm.
I heard from my aunties and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, why would you put some of your kid that some other kid is pooping?" Look, it's clean. Bleach it one time if you want to, but if you, I mean, who doesn't wear? You know, what's the difference between buying a shirt from Goodwill? Like, it's not. It's cloth. It washes. It's clean, and you can get some very high end brands that I would not have paid full price for. I bought them used, and now I can save the money for the real good, you know, like my Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter diaper, you know,
Yeah.
the really, you know, those premium diapers that, you know, are like, you can still have those too. So don't be afraid of that. It's perfectly fine. Buy them
Yeah.
used, and then you can sell them again. So basically, you use them for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't sell Huggies. You buy your diapers, use them up, and then list them right back on the same Facebook market that you got them from, and pass them to the next person.
I
I
totally
cannot
agree.
beat that.
Yeah. There's so many ways. So you fit as low as $50. You can get a whole set, and this is new. Or you can use t-shirts and not pay any money. Flannels, you go have your baby at the hospital, which I'm not suggesting at all, but if you have your baby at the hospital, you got flannel blankets, there's your whole stash, you know. So there are ways to make it happen. Or you can spend $500 on a stash of, I don't know, premium stuff. And that's not even premium 500. There are diapers that are $75, $100. Like, I'm not buying them. Well, I
Right.
shouldn't even say that. I shouldn't say that because I have definitely spent money on stuff. But you know, I definitely wouldn't have a stash of that. If I saw
Right.
something and was in love, then maybe. But it is possible to spend all of your money or none of your money. You can mix it up. So you can mix up the expense. You can mix up the systems, um, the time of day that you use these diapers. So just so everybody knows, if, you know, whoever's watching this later, and it seems intimidating. There's so much stuff, but it sounds like everybody here started with pockets. That is a good way to start. Once you start seeing what you like and what's out there, you can, you know, dibble and dabble in other things. But just try it. For newborns, if someone is a new mom and they're newborn, they need to cloth diaper a newborn. This is going to be my last question because we're over time again. What's the stash? What do I get? Lay said some things. Somebody else tell me what's your stash for a newborn?
I'd say fitted.
Fitteds for newborn.
Fitteds and cover newborn.
Fitteds and covers. What do you say, Ray?
I would say pre-folds and covers or all in one. Like either have a cover and pre-fold if you need to be really affordable because newborns go all the time. So just keep swapping out the pre-fold, it's absorbent or whatever. But if you got the money to blow, all in ones is simple, especially if you're a new parent. Does it make it really easy and convenient for you? If you got more hands on deck that are not super supportive, then boom, it's just like putting on disposable if you put on the all in one.
Yeah. What do you say, Samira, Trika?
I was here for the all-in-ones, especially with baby number four. Like she said, I mean, I had a lot to manage in the house, so the all-in-ones were superb for me. With her, I did the pockets because she was my first like real commitment into it. But
Yeah.
especially if you're breastfeeding, I'm here for the all-in-ones with the newborn.
Yeah. I'm also seconding the all-in-ones Velcro for newborn, and then the I did do the fitteds with the Velcro covers as a
Mm,
newborn. That was amazing. And I did have a wool cover too that helped for the nighttime, so I could kind of extend his nighttime. That was great.
yeah. I don't. I didn't cloth diaper at the newborn stage. That's a whole other story that one day I'll tell everybody. Well, I've told it 50,000 times. Maybe I'll tell it again. Um, if I had to cloth diaper a newborn now, or if I had a newborn in my house for some reason, I would probably do a pre-fold or a flat with a wool cover over. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, we won't go into why. There's a lot of reasons why, but it's time to go. So thank y'all. We will. I would love to do another one. I can't make you guys commit to that, but I'll pressure you later. Um, thank you. I appreciate it. Who has their tea?
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Everybody else, thumbs up. Thank you guys. We'll do this again soon. I appreciate it.